Anyone please respond, is the voice audible and is the shared screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the last class, simply we considered related to the types of choppers, isn't it? So whenever we are going to consider these choppers, so these choppers are going to be classified to be as of on the basis of two criteria. The first one is going to be on the basis of output voltage. Okay, so if the output voltage is going to be higher than the input provided to the chopper circuit, then it is considered to be as a step-up chopper. And if the output voltage is going to be, if the output voltage is going to be lesser than the input voltage of the chopper, then it is considered to be as a step down. Okay, so that is one classification, basic classification of the chopper circuits. And when you are going to consider the other classification is going to be completely based upon this I naught and V naught. Okay, so that is whatever the current that is going to be the magnitude of current, or simply we can consider on the basis of polarity of the load current as well as polarity of the voltage prevailing across the load. That is completely this V naught and I naught. Okay, on this basis the choppers are going to be classified to be as of class A chopper or type A chopper, like that. Okay, so this classification is going to be completely on the basis of this V naught and I naught, polarities of V naught and I naught. So what are the possibilities of this V naught and I naught? The possibilities of V naught and I naught are going to be either V naught can be positive or negative. Similarly, V naught, I naught can be positive or negative, isn't it? Whenever this is going to be considered, you are going to have four combinations prevailing. Okay, so for V naught positive, you are going to have I naught to be positive or negative. Okay, similarly for V naught negative, you are going to have I naught to be positive or negative. So that means you are going to have four combinations of this output voltage of the chopper, isn't it? So whenever it is going to be considered, these are going to be termed to be as of one quadrant chopper, two quadrant chopper, similarly four quadrant choppers. Okay, so majorly where we are going to consider these quadrant choppers means mostly whenever the applications are going to be considered, these applications are going to be considered in the case of these motor applications, drive applications. Whenever we need to operate a drive in forward direction, reverse direction, whenever we need to apply the braking, in that case we are going to consider these choppers as of quadrant, one quadrant operation, two quadrant operation, four quadrant operation, like that. Okay, so whenever you are going to consider, in the last session we considered all these related to this, just briefing of this. Though first quadrant chopper is going to be nothing but it is going to be considered to be as a type A chopper, and here in this case it is going to be the simply providing one polarity of voltage and current. Okay, so let it could be V naught and I naught, V naught and I naught. So V naught and I naught are going to be positive, providing the chopper to be operating in the first quadrant. It's treated to be as of first quadrant or type A chopper, and the construction is going to be here as of this. Construction is going to be here as of this. That is going to be, you are going to have the supply, chopper, simply load. Okay, so then moving to the other, that is going to be we considered the later one, that is going to be the two quadrant chopper. In this two quadrant chopper, you are going the output voltage is going to be prevailing, sorry, second quadrant chopper. In the case of the second quadrant chopper, the chopper is capable of providing the operation as of in the second quadrant. So in the case of second quadrant, what you are going to get here, in the case of second quadrant, you are going to have, in the case of second quadrant, you are going to have I naught to be positive and V naught to be V naught, I naught to be negative and V naught to be positive, isn't it? So whenever you are going to consider the quadrant operation, in the case of quadrant operation, you are going to consider x-axis is of load current, y-axis to be of the voltage prevailing across the load, isn't it? So here, in this case, first quadrants, both V naught and I naught are going to be positive. Second quadrant, I naught is going to be negative and V naught going to be positive. And in the third quadrant, I naught negative, V naught negative. And in the fourth quadrant, V naught negative and I naught positive, isn't it? So in the case of this second quadrant chopper, in the second quadrant chopper or type B chopper, you are going to have the construction prevailing across as of this. Okay, here in this case, whenever we need to consider the chopper to be operating in the second quadrant, what we need to do, the voltage across the load should be positive, but the current is to be in the reverse direction. So in the case of this, mostly the practical example for this is going to be nothing but you are going to have the motor braking instant. So the motor braking instant is going to be the practical example or operation of the chopper in the second quadrant. So you are going to have the operation to be of chopper to be in the on state, chopper to be on the on state, and the current is going to be moving in the reverse direction as of this. Okay, so that may be nothing but you can consider that as to be of regenerative braking mode. This can be considered to be of a regenerative braking mode. Okay, so then coming to the other, that is going to be the two quadrant chopper. In the case of this two quadrant chopper, what we considered, it is going to be nothing but providing the operation in the two quadrant. So for providing the operation in the two quadrant, two chopper switches are going to be considered here. Two chopper switches are going to be considered in the circuit. Okay, so supply chopper 1, chopper 2, providing with the load, and each is going to be provided with a freewheeling diode in order to make the device turn off, chopper to be turned off. Okay, so here whenever you are going to consider this, whenever chopper 1 is going to be in the on state, you are going to have the current conduction prevailing from positive of the supply chopper to this inductor to this E. That is nothing but a, see, it resembles to that of a motor load. So from motor load to this negative. Okay, so you are going to have a first quadrant operation prevailing. Okay, in the case of second quadrant operation, what you are going to get means, whenever you are going to consider in the second quadrant operation, the chopper is going to be considered, chopper is considered to be as of chopper 2 is going to be in the on state. Whenever the chopper 2 is going to be in the on state, earlier the current direction is going to be as of this, but when the chopper is going to be in the on state, 2 is going to be in the on state, simply you are going to have the current conduction provided to be as of this. So reverse current. So voltage is going to be positive, but the current is going to be reversing, making the operation in the second quadrant. Okay, so then moving to the other, that is going to be type, this is going to be type C chopper and type D chopper. Both are going to be the two quadrant choppers. Okay, only difference here is going to be the switching position of the chopper circuits. So the position of the chopper circuits are going to be changed such that its operation is going to be prevailing in 1 and 2 or 1 and 4, like that. Okay, so that is going to be type B, two quadrant type B chopper, or two quadrant type A chopper. Both are going to be providing the operation in two quadrants. Okay, so then moving to the last one, that is going to be the four quadrant chopper. For a four quadrant chopper, what we considered is, it is going to be nothing but four choppers are going to be connected as of a bridge. Four choppers are going to be connected as of a bridge, and depending upon their operation, you are going to have the output voltages and currents prevailing to be of positive V naught, positive or negative, similarly I naught, positive or negative. So depending upon this switching instance, you are going to get this particular mode. So this is mostly considered in the case of an industrial motors, in the case of this industrial motor drives. Okay, so in the case of this industrial motor drives, we need to operate the motor both in the forward direction, reverse direction, and along with the mechanical braking, we need to apply the electrical braking. So in that case, this four quadrant chopper is going to be the preferable one. Okay, so this is what we considered related to this choppers classification on the basis of chopper classification on the basis of output voltage and current. Okay, then all these are going to be nothing but considered, all these are going to be nothing but considered to be as of all these are going to be considered to be as of controlled device enabled choppers, controllable device enabled choppers. Okay, so the major thing here what we need to consider is choppers can be. So when you are going to consider the basic circuit of a chopper, what is the basic circuit of a chopper? So it is going to be nothing but you are going to have a source, you are going to have a source, load provided with a switch, isn't it? This switch, if this particular switch is going to be considered to be of a controllable switch. So what is a controllable switch? It is going to be completely both the turn on instant and turn off instant are going to be controllable. In that case, all the choppers can be considered with the ease of operation. So you can apply a voltage, chopper comes to the conduction, you can remove the voltage across the gate and the drain or gate and the source, then the device moves to the blocking state. Okay, so that is in the case of voltage control devices. If we provide a current control device, a current pulse applied between the gate is provided to the control terminal, the device comes to the conduction. Whenever this control current is removed, then the device moves to the blocking state in the case of a current controlled devices. Okay, but some of the choppers are going to be considered rather than this controllable devices. So those are going to be nothing but considered to be as a thyristor based chopper circuit. Thyristor based chopper circuit. So in the case of this thyristor based chopper circuit, in the last session we considered related to this voltage commutated chopper circuit and current commutated voltage commutated current circuit. Sorry, voltage commutated chopper, isn't it? So here in the case of this voltage commutated chopper, what is going to be the thing means why we need to use the commutation. The thing here is why we need to use the commutation. So whenever we are going to consider this commutation, the commutation is going to be, what is commutation basically? What is commutation? So commutation is going to be nothing but process of making the conducting device to turn off, isn't it? Commutation is going to be the process of making the device to be turned off. So in some specific applications, rather than controllable switches, rather than controllable switches, choppers are going to be thyristors are going to be employed. So whatever the chopper circuits in which thyristors are going to be employed, those are considered to be as a thyristor chopper circuits. Thyristor chopper circuits. So whenever we are going to consider these thyristor chopper circuits, what will happen? The major disadvantage with this thyristor chopper circuits is it is going to be nothing but thyristor is going to be simply a semi-controlled device. Only the turn on is going to be controllable and the turn off is going to be uncontrollable. So that means whenever a thyristor is going to be employed in a DC circuit, it is going to be turned on by a control pulse, but it will the turn off instant is going to be not prevailed in the DC circuits. Why? Means what are the conditions for the thyristor to be turned off? What are the conditions for the thyristor? What are the conditions for a thyristor to be turned off? So whenever a thyristor is going to be placed in a circuit, then the thyristor is to be thyristor turned off is going to be happened whenever the current flowing through this conducting device becomes less than the holding current value. Okay, that is going to be the first condition for turn off. Second condition is whenever a reverse voltage is applied, whenever a reverse voltage equivalent to the circuit voltage, if it is slightly higher than the circuit voltage is applied in reverse to the conducting device, then the device is going to be turned off. Okay, these two conditions are going to be prevailing across the prevailing across the thyristor whenever the thyristor is going to be used in the AC circuits. That is in the case of rectifiers, that is in the case of rectifiers, controllers. In that case, whenever a thyristor is going to be employed, the thyristor is going to be simply it is going to be considered to be turned off automatically by the power circuit. So that is considered to be as a natural commutation. But in the case of these DC circuits, whenever a thyristor is going to be placed, the thyristor is not going to be turned off automatically. So we need to use an extra circuit. We need to use an extra circuit for making the device turn off. That extra circuit is going to be nothing but considered to be as a commutating circuit. What is the purpose of this commutating circuit? Means the purpose of the commutating circuit is to forcibly either to reduce the current through the conducting device or to apply a reverse voltage across the device. Okay, so we are going to nothing but employ the forced commutation. We are nothing but employing the forced commutation. In the case of this forced commutation, in the case of this forced commutation, what you are going to do means you are simply going to consider some auxiliary devices. All this comes under this auxiliary devices or commutating devices. By these commutating devices, the main device is going to be turned down. Okay, this is going to be happened in two conditions, two cases, where the uh, reverse voltage is going to be applied across the device. Then that particular commutation is nothing but considered to be as a voltage commutation. And when current is considered, when a reverse current is moved provided across the conducting device, then it is considered to be as a current commutation. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so here in the last session we considered related to the operation of this voltage commutated chopper, isn't it? So what is the main circuit here? What is the main circuit here, and what are the auxiliary circuit we are going to consider? Means this T1 is going to be the main thyristor, which is going to be nothing but acting as a chopper. So it is going to chop the fixed DC voltage to the variable DC voltage by depending upon the switching frequency, depending upon the switching frequency, isn't it? So this chopper is to be turned on and turned off, or turned off frequently with a high frequency. So for that reason, we are going to consider all the circuit. This circuit is nothing but considered to be as a commutating circuit. The circuit is going to be nothing but considered to be as a commutating circuit. So normal chopper circuit, what is the normal chopper circuit? So the normal chopper circuit is going to be from this positive, this SCR, resistance, inductance plus battery load, and negative. All this is going to be the normal chopper circuit. For this particular chopper circuit, what we need to consider is we need to consider an auxiliary commutation. So the auxiliary commutation is going to be nothing but it is going to be this capacitor, auxiliary resistor, inductor, and this diode. Okay, so what we need to consider means you need before this chopper is going to be, whenever you are going to consider this connection, uh, when these two devices are going to be in the off state, what is the current conduction provided to the load? This is open circuit, this is open circuit, this is going to be in the reverse blocking mode. So ultimately what we are going to have, we are going to have zero conduction of current from source to the load. Okay, then what we are going to consider means before the operation is going to be considered, we need to consider this chopper to be this capacitor to be considered as of capacitor to be considered as of positive voltage polarity on the upper plate and negative polarity on the lower plate. For this, a simple arrangement is going to be considered, that is with this charging resistor and a switch. Okay, so before the gate pulse is provided to this SCR, simply the switch is going to be closed and the capacitor is going to be considered to be charged as of VC, having the polarities of upper plate positive and lower plate negative. Okay, whenever it is going to be happen, then what will happen, it is completely charged and it is having the holding the charge of VC provided to be with positive and negative. Okay, then what it is going to be done after that, the switch is going to be opened. Okay, the switch is going to be opened and a gate pulse is going to be initiated to this thyristor. Whenever the gate pulse is initiated to this thyristor, then current conduction starts. So the current conduction is going to be from positive to this device, device to this load, load to this negative of the supply. Okay, in this case what will happen, you will have one current, that is going to be the load current provided from source to this load I naught. Okay, along with this, as this switch is going to be closed, what will happen, the capacitor, as it is going to be previously charged to its highest value, then what will happen means the capacitor is going to have the tendency to discharge, and the discharge path is going to be prevailed provided when SCR is going to be in the conduction. So the you will have from positive to this SCR, SCR to this inductor, inductor to this diode, diode to this negative plate. That is going to be the uh, path of uh, path of this capacitor current. In this particular capacitor current, what will happen, whenever the cycle completes, whenever the complete cycle completes, then positive charge is going to be accumulated in the lower plate and the negative charge is going to be accumulated on the upper plate, making this VC to be of positive with the lower plate and negative in the upper plate, positive in the negative, positive in the lower plate and negative in the upper plate. When all this is going to be done, then what is that, what is this capacitor, it is going to be provided in the reverse polarity. Still this T1 is going to be in the conduction. Okay, whenever this T1 is going to be in the conduction, at the desired instant, whenever we need to make this uh, chopper turn off, whenever we need to make this chopper turn off, we are going to make the initiate the triggering pulse for this auxiliary device. So the purpose of this auxiliary device here is completely to turn off the main thyristor. Okay, so at main thyristor, whenever we need to make this thyristor turn off, then what will happen means what will happen means the thyristor is going to be provided to be, so whenever this is going to be in the conduction, this is going to be turned on. When this is going to be turned on, here the lower plate is going to be positive and upper plate is going to be negative. This positive is going to be applied across the anode and negative is going to be applied across this anode. So ultimately reverse voltage is going to be applied, so the device is going to be turned off. Okay, so what will happen, this is going to be in the turn off state, but still this is going to be in the conducting state, isn't it? So whenever it is going to be the open state, what will happen, here it is going to be positive, here it is going to be the negative. Then how to make this thyristor turn off, then how to make this thyristor turn off, so that is going to be happened by whenever this main thyristor is going to be turned on, then it is going to be turned off. Why means, it is going to be having the, whenever this is going to be turned on, then what will happen, you will have a positive polarity and you will have a negative polarity applied, positive and negative. This positive is going to be applied across this anode and negative of the capacitor is going to be applied across this sorry, positive is going to be applied across the cathode and negative is going to be applied across the anode. Immediately this is going to be turned off. Okay, so by making whenever this auxiliary device is going to be turned on, main device is going to be turned off, and whenever the main device is going to be turned on, auxiliary device is going to be turned off. That is going to be completing and making the switching making the making the output voltage to be of a chopped DC voltage, providing a variable DC voltage. So this is completely related to this voltage commutated chopper, voltage commutated chopper. So that particular operation what we considered is going to be classified to be as mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, like that. Mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, like that. Okay, so these are going to be the equivalent circuits representations for mode 1, mode 2 and mode 3 of the chopper conductions. Okay, then here whenever you are going to consider these these are going to be the waveforms. So this is going to be the triggering instant for IG1. So that is for main thyristor. So main thyristor is going to be turned on at this particular instant, isn't it? After that, at the desired instant where the auxiliary device is to be turned off, sorry, auxiliary device is going to be turned on, gate pulse is going to be initiated here. Okay, you will have a capacitor discharge current to be like this, 0 to maximum, maximum to 0. Okay, then whenever you are going to consider this uh, current IT1, so this IT1, the thing what we need to observe is going to be the load current. So here this is considered to be as a load current, isn't it? Suppose it is going to be of a constant current provided. This particular load current is going to be of I naught. To this I naught, the capacitor discharge current is going to be added for a time span from this point to this point. Okay, until the capacitor is going to charge in the reverse direction, the capacitor discharge current is going to be moving and added as a load current. So this particular current is going to be nothing but moving through the device IT1. So that is going to be the thyristor 1. Thyristor 1 is going to have the current having this capacitor current. And whenever you are going to consider this voltage, so this particular voltage here is going to be the VC, that is going to be capacitor voltage. So this capacitor voltage is going to be initially charged to be of positive Vs, and after that, as soon as this T1 is going to be turned on, it is going to be charged in the reverse direction, having a magnitude of minus Vs. Okay, this particular charge here is going to be prevailing until this auxiliary thyristor is going to be in the blocking state. So at this particular instant, auxiliary device is going to be made to be turned on. When auxiliary device is going to be made to be turned on, again the capacitor is going to be charging in the reverse direction, making the potential to be of plus Vs, making the potential to be of plus Vs. Okay, so this is completely related to the voltage prevailing across the capacitor. Okay, so first one is going to be the gating instance for thyristor 1, auxiliary device, load current I naught, capacitor discharge, capacitor current IC, current across the conducting thyristor T1. Okay, you can observe this here. From this particular point to this particular point, T1 is going to be turned off, and again T1 is going to be turned on at this particular instant. Okay, then capacitor voltage. So the capacitor voltage is going to be varying from plus Vc to minus Vc, depending upon the triggering instance of auxiliary device, like that. And you will have the output voltage provided to be like this, V naught. The output voltage provided here is going to be as of this, having a magnitude of Vs. Again you are going to have a again you will have a voltage becoming 0 as the main device is going to be turned off here. Okay, again you will have a magnitude of Vs. The average of this value is going to be nothing but it is going to be the V naught. Okay, then you are going to have IT, this is going to be auxiliary device current provided by this auxiliary device. Okay, all this is going to be divided to be into 4 modes: mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and mode 4. So what will be happen in mode 1? Mode 1, T1 is going to be turned on. T1 is going to be turned on. Okay, and mode 2, in the case of this mode 2, what will happen? Diode is going to be in the off state, and T1 is going to be in the off state. Okay, in mode 3, auxiliary device is going to be turned on. So from this mode 3 starts, at this device T1 is going to be turned off, as of auxiliary device is going to be turned on. Okay, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and mode 4, this is going to be related to the voltage commutated chopper. Okay, so then we need to consider the other, that is going to be the current commutated chopper. So the same the current commutated chopper is also going to be the same here. Is it so this is going to be the current commutated chopper. Okay, so here also in the case of this current commutated chopper, so what is the difference here? Means nothing but a current commutation means a reverse current is going to be provided. A reverse current is going to be provided across the device. A reverse current is going to be provided across the device. So whenever a reverse current spike is going to be provided across the conducting device, then immediately the conducting device is going to be having a current. The resultant current of the device is going to be equal to less than, becomes less than the holding current value, and the device is going to be turned off. Okay, so here in this particular case we consider this here 26, what is this here, 83. One second. Okay, so here you may consider this current commutator chopper construction is going to be like this. It is similar to that of a voltage commutator chopper, but only thing here is going to be a reverse current is going to be injected onto the device. Okay, so here in this case, whenever you are going to consider the main chopper is going to be nothing but this thyristor T1, supply input voltage, thyristor T1 and load. That is going to be simply the normal chopper circuit. The remaining whatever it is going to be provided in the circuit, all this is going to be forming the commutating circuit. All these are going to be forming the commutating circuit. Okay, so here whenever you are going to consider in this particular case, what will happen means initially here we are going to make the capacitor to be charged through this charging resistor RC. Okay, so before this device are going to be turned on, sorry, turned on. So diode blocking, making open circuit, thyristor off state, making open circuit, TA off state, making open circuit, and there is no current conduction provided. Okay, so what will happen, initially you are going to have the current provided from positive to this capacitor to this charging resistor and this negative. Okay, so this is going to be making the capacitor to be holding a potential of C, or having a potential of VC with polarities of a positive plate on the upper plate positive and lower plate negative. Okay, so after that whenever you are going to consider the operation starts by the conduction provided for this main thyristor T1. Whenever the main thyristor T1 is going to be provided with a conduction, then what will happen? The current conduction is going to be provided from positive to this T1 to this load to this negative. That is going to be the normal current conduction provided. So as this is going to be turned on, what will happen? Only you will have a current conduction provided by this supply, isn't it? So whenever we need to make the device to be turned off, then what will happen means we are simply going to make this TA to be turned on. TA to be auxiliary device TA to be turned on. Whenever the TA is made to be turned on by a gate pulse, then what will happen? You will have this positive connected to this node and negative connected to this one. So immediately what will happen means the current is going to be rushed into the conducting device. The current is going to be rushed in the conducting device in the direction from this point, in the direction from this reverse to this IT1, reverse to this IT1. The current is going to be rushed down to the device and the main conducting device is going to be turned off. Okay, so once again, so here in this particular case, this freewheeling diode is completely to freewheel the load, energy stored in the load, that is going to be in the case of inductor. Okay, then whatever you are going to consider the operation of a current commutator chopper, in the case of this current commutator chopper, the normal circuit is going to be this provided, and everything provided here are going to be the commutating circuits, that is going to be the forced commutation circuits. Okay, in these forced commutation circuits, what it is going to be done means they are going to be completely enabled, in the circuit to make the conducting device turn off. Okay, so for making the conducting device turn off, we need to place a pre-charged capacitor. We need to place a pre-charged capacitor. So for making this capacitor charged, pre-charged, what is the option we are having is we are simply going to provide a bypass with this charging resistor. So depending upon the charging resistor, you will have the capacitor time, charging time, capacitor charging time. Some may have the quick charging, some may have the slow charging. Depending upon this charging resistor, the capacitor is going to hold a potential of positive on the upper plate and negative on the lower plate, making a potential of VC. Okay, so slightly this VC is going to be whatever you are going to consider this VC, that VC is going to be considered to be as of slightly higher than this VS. Okay, so in that case what will happen means you are going to have the capacitor holding this charge. Okay, and all these devices are going to be in the off state. That is, main device is going to be in the off state, auxiliary device is going to be in the off state. So there is no local current moving. So what will happen after that? We are simply going to make this main thyristor to be turned on. Whenever the main thyristor is going to be turned on, then immediately what will happen? Then immediately they are going to have the load current flowing. The load current conduction path is going to be from this positive to this thyristor, thyristor to this load, load to this return. That is going to be the conduction. But what happened here? Whenever the main thyristor is going to be turned on, it remains continuously in the conduction, as DC potential is going to be connected, current load current is going to be continuous, and forward favorable conditions is going to be, you are going to have a forward voltage applied across the device. So what will happen? The device still remains, always remains in the conduction. So but whenever the device is going to be completely in the conduction, will it is capable to get a variable voltage? So no, then no. For getting a variable voltage, we need to make this device to be turned on for certain time and turned off, turned on and turned off. So that is to be needed, and that is going to be happened by this auxiliary device. So at the desired instant where we need to make the conducting device turned off, this auxiliary device is going to be turned on. Whenever this auxiliary device is going to be turned on, you are going to have a current rushing to the conducting device as of positive TA diode to this. Okay, so then immediately the main device is going to be turned off, as as the reverse current is going to be rushed onto the device. Okay, so this is going to be nothing but considered to be as a current commutated chopper, current commutated chopper. Okay, so these are going to be thyristor based choppers. The case of this thyristor based chopper. So whatever you are going to consider a thyristor based chopper, in the case of a thyristor based chopper, either a current commutation or a voltage commutation is going to be considered. Either a current commutation or a voltage commutation is to be considered, and it is to be employed. It is to be employed for making the chopping operation. Or else, if this current computation or a voltage computation is not provided, then simply there will never be a variable voltage provided across the load. Provided there will never be a variable voltage provided across the load. Okay, so this is going to be the current commutated chopper. Okay, so this is also going to be divided into the complete operation is going to be divided into mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, like that. Okay, is there any doubts? Is there any doubts related to this voltage computation and current computation? Voltage commutated chopper and current commutated chopper. Anyone? Okay, so we'll see the remaining topics in the next session. Okay, so I think that the operation of this voltage commutator and current commutator choppers are going to be are clear. Okay, once you refer to this current commutated and voltage cooperated choppers. And if you have any doubt, you can simply ask me. Okay. So then